Arsenal vs Brighton. Why Mikel Arteta's men must keep clean sheet as pleasing Martin Odegaard stat emerges. Arsenal host Brighton and Hove Albion in Saturday's Premier League clash, in which a depleted defence could spell serious danger for Mikel Arteta and co. The Gunners will once again head into a top-flight game without at least 3 defenders, including Gabriel Magalhaes, whom Arteta delivered a pessimistic update on in his pre-game press conference. The Brazil international is still on his way back from a thigh injury sustained during the most recent national team break, and he is one of 3 definite defensive absentees for the North London club. Christian Mosquera will be working his way back from an ankle injury for another few weeks, while Ben White is also likely to be missing until mid-January as a result of his hamstring issue. Furthermore, Piero Hincapié is doubtful for the match due to the shoulder problem he picked up against Everton last weekend, and there are always concerns about Jurrien Timber's fitness, while Arteta cannot rest the Dutchman. The host's depleted backline may very well prove fatal if a recent pattern is followed, as Arsenal have never beaten Brighton in a Premier League home game when conceding to the Seagulls. The Gunners only have 3 wins under their belts from 8 top-flight home games against Brighton since 1992, all of which came via a 2-0 scoreline in 2017, 2021 and 2023, for a measly victory rate of 38%. Among all teams they have faced in 5 or more Premier League home games, Arsenal only have worse win rates against Wimbledon 36% and Liverpool 25%, and Brighton have always claimed at least a point when finding the back of the net. Fabian Hürzeler's men left with a 1-1 draw last season, the same scoreline that Brighton held Arsenal to in 2018-2019, and the South Coast side were victorious in North London in each of the 2019-2020, 2021-2022, and 2020-2023 seasons. However, the only time Arsenal have managed a Premier League win over Brighton without a clean sheet was in their final game of the year in 2022, a 4-2 success at the Amex Stadium on New Year's Eve. The league leaders memorably went 812 minutes without conceding a goal earlier this season, but they have since kept just 3 clean sheets from their last 10 games in all tournaments, only one of which came at home against Brentford. Pleasing Martin Odegaard stat emerges before Arsenal vs Brighton. While Arteta's defence do their best to shut up shop, Captain Martin Odegaard, expected to replace Eberechi Eze in the starting lineup, could have a pivotal say at the other end of the Emirates pitch. The Norway international has only set up to goals in 15 appearances during an injury-hit 0-5-0-6 season, but the underlying numbers suggest that his creative influence is not waning. Odegaard has created 2.5 chances per 90 minutes in the Premier League season, the third most of all players with at least 500 minutes played, only behind Manchester City duo Jeremy Doku 3.4 and Ryan Cherki 3.2. Odegaard registered 4 key passes in the narrow win over Everton last weekend, although none led to an assist for the ex-Real Madrid starlet, whose teammates must also polish off their best shooting boots to capitalise on his creative excellence. Arsenal have reportedly been handed an unexpected late injury boost ahead of their Premier League showdown with Brighton and Hove Albion on Saturday afternoon. As was the case last weekend, the Gunners could commence their next top-flight game, sat second in the Premier League table, as Manchester City clash with Nottingham Forest in the day's early kick-off. Victory for the Sky Blues at the City Ground would take Pep Guardiola's men a point above Mikel Arteta's side, but Arsenal have been backed to comfortably dispatch the Seagulls on their own turf. Arteta delivered a brief pre-game injury update on Boxing Day, most notably delivering the latest on Kai Havertz and Gabriel Magalhaes, who have been sidelined with knee and thigh problems respectively. The Spaniard revealed that Havertz, who has returned to full training, is a matter of days away from a long-awaited comeback from his serious problem, but he was less optimistic on Gabriel. Arteta stated that the Brazilian defender was yet to train with the team and was still in the rehabilitation process, seemingly ruling him out of the clash with Fabian Hürzeler's men this weekend. However, according to Handif Arsenal, Gabriel was seen with the rest of the Arsenal squad on Friday evening, suggesting that the 28-year-old may be in with a chance of returning to first-team action on Saturday. Arteta and his coaching team will reportedly decide today whether to include Gabriel at the match-day squad list for what would be the centre-back's first appearance for the club since the 2-2 draw with Sunderland on November 8th. The former Lille man has missed each of Arsenal's last 9 matches in all competitions since pulling his hamstring on Brazil duty last month, and the Gunners have kept just 3 clean sheets during his absence. Prior to entering the treatment room, Gabriel had registered 2 goals and 3 assists in his first 17 appearances of the season, enhancing his reputation as one of Europe's deadliest defenders in both penalty areas. Gabriel's inclusion in the match-day squad against Brighton would be a significant surprise, especially after Arteta's comments, but Gunners have learned to take the manager's pre-game injury updates with a pinch of salt. The Brazilian's possible return could be one of 3 fitness boosts for the North London Giants today, as neither Piero Hincapié nor Gabriel Martinelli Knock have been ruled out of the game either. Hincapié would be a more likely starter than Gabriel at the back given the latter's lengthy layoff, but Arteta can deploy Ricardo Calafiori centrally and Miles Lewis-Skelly on the left if he does not want to risk either South American. Max Daumann ankle, Christian Mosquera ankle and Ben White hamstring will all miss out for Arsenal, who must keep a clean sheet on Saturday if they are to have any chance of winning, history suggests.